Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. As you know, I am painting the Steel Fist Miniatures English Civil War or British Civil War or War of the Three Kingdoms, whichever you decide. I'm doing this for myself and it's a project I'm quite enjoying actually. I know bits of the English Civil War. I'm calling it the English Civil War, it's one I was brought up with. And as you saw in the last video, I showed off these Royalist cavalry I've been painting. Well, originally I was trying to base it loosely around something like Prince Maurice, his unit, the order of battle, different units around him. I just found the more and more I was looking into it, I thought it's better to base it around the armies of Sir Ralph Hopton. This is the Century of the Soldier series, as you can see here. It's from Helium Press, and the author is Lawrence Spring, even. Let's just see if there's a number for you to. There's the IBSM number, should you wish to look into it yourself, or Helium and Company, I should say. It's got a few of these, not a huge amount, a few of these plates in the middle. I'll give you a quick look as this is a review. I haven't read it, I'll just flick through at the moment. I only got it yesterday. And I was greatly impressed. I was really glad I got this. Now, I got this from a company called Meakins Historical and Military Books, I believe. Fortunately, I don't have any literature that came with it. £15 this cost me, down from 25. So if you're looking into an English Civil War, this is based purely on Sir Ralph Hopton, who operated mainly in the West Country. As you can see, armies of the West, mainly in the West Country, but obviously going up to Oxford and that. And the King Charles I, sent some of his Oxford army down to him as well. I'm not going to go into obviously showing you loads for copyright purposes, but I just wanted to show you a few examples. You get a couple of uniform plates here. I wasn't showing it all because, as I say, people want to buy the book. Some period text is yours you get, but it goes into, say, regimental colours. It does go into diets, or what they're eating, what the pay was, all that type of thing. But basically, just how the whole Army of the West was organised. There's a few colours in there for different regiments that are known. Most regiments aren't known, and as I've said, I'm trying to base this one that I'm doing under Colonel Pierce's, which I'm giving the green colours to because there is no there's no record of what those colours were. I'm trying to find. There we go. Armies of Sir Ralph Hopton. These will tell. Is a nice list here of different regiments of horse, foot, and probably artillery, but regiments of horse and foot that served under Sir Ralph. He had a decent career before the Civil War, mainly in Europe, and he was the Army of the West was one of the, I would say, one of the more premier fighting units of the Royalist cause. Did have some decent commanders. I'm basing mine on units that were fought at the Battle of Cherrington. I just thought there was I saw it online. I think it was in the British Civil War. There's an online website I think called the British Civil War, and it has different orders of battle and stuff. And it's got obviously a write up on Cherrington, and for both Royalist and Parliamentarian forces. And I just thought it was easier. I would pick units probably through that, not necessarily, but mainly units that serve there. I can't do a complete Cherrington order of battle because I just couldn't afford that many figures. But I'll keep going through different units until I've had enough. So highly recommended. Oops, steady. There's lots more of these around. We all know Helium Press do some cracking books. I've got several of different Napoleonics and whatever. But there's several of these different ones for the English Civil War, or again, all the other ways you want to call it. And as I say, you won't get a ton of plates in the middle, not usually. Well, it depends, I suppose. I've had more colour plates in than others. I find with the Royalists in the West, some of the units that were landed from Ireland in the middle of the Civil War, when the king had more or less like bought off the Irish, if you want to wear the word, rebels, and obviously he managed to boost his numbers by bringing either regiments of Catholics over, which didn't go down too well, or Protestant units that had been on garrison duty over there. And they seem to have, as far as I say, I'm saying this as a layman, there seems to be a bit more information on what they had, because it was noted when they landed. They'd say, oh, they were carrying colours of yellow, or their jackets were yellow, type of, all that type of stuff. But thoroughly recommended. When I've got the odd bit of money, I might get a couple more of the different English Civil War series that they do, because they're handy books. So yeah, all I wanted to show is that, really. I haven't got any more done. This Royalist unit is waiting still for varnish, and it won't be done until probably Sunday or Monday. I will start clean. I still haven't cleaned up the foot figures yet, and I still haven't sent off for the pikes. But all in good time. That's got to be done. So yeah, once those two, obviously once the cavalry are based, I'll give you a video on those. Once I've got some progress on the foot, I'll give you a video of those. I can at least start on the foot, on the shot and the command element of that, until I get my pikes. But you'll get some updates as always. So thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. Oh, I'm also I'm also doing Perry 28mm 3rd Hussars for King's German Legion. I'll show you some videos on these as we go. Anyway, look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.